Hello, welcome everyone to another episode of the Virtual Ninja Show. My name is Heike, and today I have Dominik with me, and we are going to talk about Entra GSA integration with Purview. Dominik, introduce yourself.
Hello, Heike. Thank you so much for having me again into your show. That's really awesome. My name is Dominik. I work as a security consultant and have been recently re-awarded as a Microsoft MVP for cloud security.
Yes, that's actually super exciting. And again, congratulations, because that's a huge achievement. So, Dominik, and then you suggested a couple of topics, and we picked this topic that we're going to talk about today. Tell me a little bit, what is the challenge that we are solving with this integration that is currently now in public preview?
Yeah, Entra GSA offers a public preview feature that's called file inspection with Microsoft Purview, right? And the global secure access functionality in Entra itself has two main components. On the one hand, we have private access, and this is a zero trust network access solution that replaces your VPN where you connect to on premises or legacy data securely, allowing just an identity aware and app access control to the apps without exposing the entire firewall or network. And second, we have the internet access capability. And this is a cloud delivered secure access gateway that monitors, controls the entire internet access, where you can also, for example, attach conditional access policies and control how the traffic should be evaluated, audited, or even blocked.
Okay, so it helps basically our customers to inspect data if it goes either into the internal network or from a company device, I would assume, to public access or like content. Why is this so important, especially in today's challenges with AI?
Yes, almost every day there's a new AI application, right? Either you can access them in the browser, download the desktop app, and I mean, it's hard to control in enterprise organizations where is using which AI. Is it browser based? Is it client based? Is there any insider risk or data exfiltration to those AI apps? They should help making the work easier, right? From day-to-day tasks. But it's also very important to control which data flows out of the organization. And that's where internet access comes into play.
So, what other challenges do you see, Dominik?
Besides the AI challenges, there is also uploading data to social media, right? Using Gmail accounts with your personal accounts. That's the most important thing to monitor as well, because people can just use their personal accounts to log in to Outlook, Gmail, etc., and then upload corporate data there.
But didn't we have anything before to basically track data exfiltration and where data is going with Purview?
You're absolutely right, because data loss prevention is bound to the endpoint itself, right? You can control if data shouldn't flow to USB sticks. You can control don't take any screenshots, or even you can allow, if you're going to use an external storage provider like Dropbox outside of the M365 ecosystem, you can attach sensitivity labels as well. But this is all at rest, right? And not on the network level. So it doesn't protect you if someone uses their personal accounts or publish something on social media, because that's not assigned or attached to the corporate identity.
Okay, so that means now we are looking actually at the network layer and inspecting the data that is going through the network layer. And I want to quickly know how that works. Can you elaborate here a little bit on that?
Sure. So the Entra GSA TLS inspection profile, right? That's attached to the Purview DLP, and we are going to show this in the demo in detail. But the most important points here are discovery, right? Gain visibility to unsanctioned apps, unmanaged endpoints. Think about bring your own devices, right? Where they are not into the DLP stack. We need to protect them, so we can either allow the connectivity, block the connectivity, or scan it with Purview. and investigate. So everything that happens on the client side will be then streamed to the Defender portal, and it's a streamlined one SOC experience or unified SOC experience like we have it today in the Defender portal.
So I actually think, Dominik, that this is way more powerful if we actually show it in motion. So let's have a look at the demo.
Sure. So the first thing we need to configure in the Entra portal is the Internet Access profile, right? This needs to be enabled, and users who should use that feature need to be assigned. It's like a group or a user, like you're doing it for conditional access policies as well. So super important, enable Internet Access profile. Otherwise, Entra GSA won't work. Second, we need to create a TLS inspection policy. And the TLS inspection policy, it's already in the name, it inspects the traffic, right, to specific destinations. So you can use categories like alcohol, tobacco, cryptocurrency, cheating, etc. And in our demo, everything is actually enabled. So if you are going to visit any of those destinations, Entra GSA will do a traffic inspection. Next, there is a policy that's called file policies, and we need to create one of those as well. And this is the most important setting to use it with Purview, because under the action menu here, we can see either allow, block, or scan with Purview. So that means, if any activity, it could be download or upload, will be detected for any of those application categories, then the action will then be taken, right? Action could be, in our case, scan with Purview. And the logical step here is also that you create the data loss prevention policy, because if you're going to enable those features, you will then need to say, okay, now I'm going to do any action. And the action could be prevent or allow and label it with Purview sensitive labels. That's also an option. So you can actually do whatever you want as long as it aligns with the organization requirements.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, the list of all the different protocols.
Yeah, it is. And actually, with that setting, it also differentiates across Defender for Cloud Apps, right? Because people are asking me, hey, Dominik, what's the difference between Defender for Cloud Apps and Entra GSA with network file inspection? So the main difference is really that Defender for Cloud Apps can enforce policies and can enforce conditional access when you're going to do anything with a SaaS application. So imagine you're uploading files to ServiceNow or Workday. You can say file upload is allowed, but I want to put a sensitivity label to it, which means it's confidential. And only that person with that specific account and endpoint can open the file on the destination in Salesforce. Another differentiation is that Defender for Cloud App also offers app governance, right? We see application privileges, unused privileges. We can see if someone tries to exfiltrate data. If you're using the M365 connector and someone does a mass deletion on SharePoint files or OneDrive files, you can also create alerts that the SOC or the security team will be notified about that exfiltration and probably a risk within your organization. The main difference also with GSA is that it's really inspecting the network. So it doesn't matter which app you're using. It doesn't matter which SaaS application you're using. And it also doesn't matter with which account you are using that. So it could be a test account, it could be your personal account, your organizational account. Everything will be checked and monitored and scanned with Purview. Next, there is the security profiles. This is very important because the security profile needs to be attached to the conditional access policy. And you can see here that we have the file policy that we created with the categories and the TLS inspection policy as well to say, hey, inspect every internet traffic, enable it. And the security profile then needs just attached to the conditional access policy. So the most important configuration here is that target resources is all internet resources with global secure access. And session controls means here that we are using our security profile shown in the step before.
Okay, so now that you've created all these 5 necessary steps, what do you see in the Purview portal or in the Entra portal, or where do we actually now see something happening that shouldn't happen, or some reporting on what happened successfully or like without any risk?
Yeah, good question. Let's do some live demos here and examples, right? So that is the Purview portal, and the sync is completed on my specific endpoint. So I have an Entra ID account that's AAD joined to Entra ID. So this is the data loss prevention policy we configured in the Purview portal, right? And you can attach here DLP rules, right? So you can include a scope. So all unmanaged AI apps. In my organization, I don't have any managed AI apps, so that could be Claude, Copilot, ChatGPT, etc. And those applications or that scopes need to be attached to the DLP policy where the scan should work for and be applied to. And you can then say whether it enforce the policy. It could be on a network level, that's Entra Global Secure Access, or it also provides you Edge for Business. So if you do not use Entra GSA and only allowing Edge for Business in your organization, this will then apply to this as well. So in this example, we are using the Google Chrome browser and with a personal Gmail address. And I'm going to compose a new email, send it to my personal email address, outlook.com, with the subject, here's the data. And I'm going to attach a file on my local computer, which has some, of course, DLP indicators in it, right? So addresses, PII data, credit card information, etc. All that's configured in the DLP policy. And if I'm trying to upload the data in the Chrome browser, in that screen you're seeing, it's taking very, very long time. And it's just a 54K in size. And in a couple of seconds, we will see an error message that the file couldn't be uploaded. So attachment failed. This is actually where the file policy in Entra GSA kicks in and prevents the user uploading corporate protected data as an attachment in your personal Gmail account. Let's use another example. So this is the ChatGPT desktop app, right? I'm connected with a personal account here as well. And if I'm going to try to upload a file, so let's use the same PDF file to this desktop application. You can see here another error message that the site or access has been prohibited by your network administrator. And this is also where Purview kicks in and prevents sharing organization data with the AI app. The same is also true for browser apps, right, in Edge. So it doesn't matter which one you're using. So last example, if I'm going to upload the data in Edge, Purview with the DLP and GSA prevents that from uploading.
Okay, and now, of course, I want to know what's coming to the data analysts. What do they see that Dominik tried to do here?
Yeah, exactly. So as a security analyst and security person, right, we can then go to the Defender portal where all the Purview and DLP alerts will be correlated as well. We should see the alerts that someone tries to upload data, right? Exfiltration. So this happened today. And you can then see, hey, there is the category exfiltration. So someone tried to exfiltrate data outside the organization with a specific browser or desktop application.
So, Dominik, I see the violations here, which is credit card numbers and others. Do you also see the actual file name of the file that you try to upload to various places?
Yes, absolutely. This is very important because in the Defender portal, right, it raises an incident and matches the alerts. And first of all, we can see that, as you already mentioned, we have full names, physical addresses, credit card numbers in that PDF file that were exposed and uploaded to ChatGPT in that example. And the other alert contains the Gmail attachment uploading. Of course, we can also go to the advanced hunting experience in that on that button, and we can see the DLP violations for the last 30 days automatically. And then it will pop up that the file name is sample-data.pdf, and the exact file path on the local machine will be showed as well.
Ah, okay, cool. I love that, because we have the data analysts and we have the SecOps team, and they're all working closely, and that's all available either in the Purview portal or in the Defender portal to then also see if that thing is moving somewhere or if other entities are impacted from it. So what I basically got, Dominik, is you need that network layer to understand that also that sensitive data might be exfiltrated or being sent over to non-SaaS or non-Microsoft or other known applications that you can already configure today. It's easy to set up. It's like 5 steps. It's currently in preview, and my call for action would be for the people, go try it out, right? Set it up, create your policies, couple of examples so you see how it can help you. What's your call to action if you have any other?
Yeah, exactly. This is really a powerful feature, right? Where it controls where data flows outside of your organization, and especially which AI agents and LLMs are being used. So you can definitely turn it on, use a test policy to a very small user group, scope it to the users and try it out. There's also an audit capability if you do not want to enforce something. Just scan with Purview, but maybe show up a warning and allow the action. That's also possible. Definitely worth testing.
Okay, yeah, that's a good catch actually, that you can also just do the warning and reporting logging, but not action already blocking or allowing. So Dominik, as usual, it was great having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming, preparing, and presenting. And I hope everyone out there enjoyed our episode, and I'll see you all soon again. Bye.